All right, welcome to Registration 101 at the University of Calgary. Today we have myself presenting. My name is Jisti. I am an Enrollment Services Advisor here at the Enrollment Services team, and I am also a subject matter expert for registration for undergraduate students at the office. And joining us is Leslie, who is a senior specialist at the Student Success Center. And Leslie will be helping out with some common questions that students often have about first-year registration. Also joining is Sumaita, who is a current UFC student, an upper year student. So she has gone through this process a number of times and is very well aware of how intimidating it can be when you first start, but how to navigate through the systems. Sumaita is also a student ambassador with our Enrollment Services team. We also have Anne and Kaylee and Cam. These are our wonderful colleagues at Enrollment Services who are on the back end trying to answer all of your questions as they come in throughout the session. Just to let you all know, this video is being recorded and will be available on the RO website, the Registrar's Office website next week. So if you've missed anything, don't be worried. It's all going to be available, and any questions that you have, if they've not been answered on the Slido platform, do not fret. We will send out an FAQ document with all of your questions, the most relevant and most frequently asked questions. We will send that document out again when we send you a feedback survey as well. All right, so getting that out of the way. To begin, I would like to acknowledge and pay tribute to the traditional territories of the peoples of Treaty 7, located in the heart of southern Alberta, which include the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprised of the Siksika, the Piikani, and the Kainai First Nations, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, including Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney First Nations. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Districts 5 and 6. All right, so as a first-year student starting off, it's definitely an exciting time, but it also can be daunting and scary with everything that is in front of you. So the goal of today's presentation is to tackle course registration by breaking it down into simple, easy to follow steps. And these are all the steps we're going to follow. And by the end of this presentation, you would have known a little bit more about the different terminology we use at the university, the different registration tools that we have, and where to find any help when you find yourself a bit lost. Okay, a little bit of a disclaimer. If we have engineering students in the room right now, we had a little disclaimer earlier, but if you are joining in, you're most welcome. However, these steps and these initialization processes do not apply to you in your first year. You're definitely going to use them in your second and upper years, but not in your first year. Your first year is being managed by your faculty. So your faculty will communicate further with you about your first year registration. However, please feel free to stay on and see and be prepared for your next year. Okay, just a reminder for anyone who joined us late, this is Slido. You can take a picture on your phone and log into slido.com with the code, and you can ask away any questions that you have throughout this presentation. A reminder, no one is monitoring the chat in Zoom. All your questions need to be directed into Slido. And those will be answered as they come by our wonderful colleagues here. Kaylee and Anne will be answering them. All right, so future dinos, how do you start? Where do you begin? That is definitely a question why you've attended this session. So let's get right into it. So step one is for you to find out what your enrollment start time is. Enrollment start time, what does that mean? It is the specific date and time that you start to get the opportunity to register into courses. Now, the key word here is start. It does not mean that it is the end of your enrollment. It is only the beginning. You have opportunities all the way up till September when the deadlines come by to make changes to your registration. You can add them, drop them, swap courses around. You can do all of this until the deadline in September. And we'll talk about deadlines a little bit more. EST, again, if you haven't logged into your portal yet, that's another point I wanted to make. If you haven't logged in and you don't have access to your student center, please do so immediately as soon as possible. And if you have any trouble, please get in touch with IT and they should be able to help you out get into your student portal. Your student center is a central repository for all of your student requirements and your student record with the university now until you finish your studies and even after that. So your student center is quite critical. For your EST, in this example on your screen, probably gonna just get the, yep, okay. On this screen, in this example here, this student has May 26, 11 a.m. as their EST. This again means that on this date, at this time, they can start registering into courses. Okay. Another point I should have mentioned here is that as you register into courses, you are allowed to register in both fall and winter courses. All right. Step 2, initializing your registration. Before you can register for courses, you must complete registration initializing. What does this mean? It's simply that every year we would love for you to have your emergency contacts, your current address, your contact information updated on your student portal. So every single year as you start your registration process, you will have to initialize. This is again on your home page. When you come down to your enroll courses, it's going to be right here. If it says, please click here to complete, it simply means that you must complete this before you can move on to actually registering into courses. Simple step, but it is something that if you don't do, you will not be allowed to register. The next step is before you start registering into courses, you must make a plan. You must know what courses you are required to take. So there are certain courses that are mandatory as part of your program that you're part of. So a chemistry student probably has to take Chem 201. They may not need Dance 205 in their first year. So understanding what are your required courses for your specific program. How do you get this? You have resources on our website. Number 1, the undergraduate first year degree guide. This is a super helpful tool that helps you navigate and understand what are your courses that you need in your first year, as well as what options you may be able to take up. Sumaita is going to talk more about this when she helps us out with the demo, but the guide is simply a tool that helps you understand what courses you need. Again, all of these links will be provided to you, so don't worry if you're not sure how to find these. We will send these links and this entire presentation out. Next is the academic requirements report. This is again another tool that you can use. This is in your student portal that you can use. This will be used in your first year all the way up till the end of your degree to understand if you have completed certain mandatory courses, how many more courses do you need to take to be able to complete your degree. That is another tool that you can use. Speaking with your program advisor, this is we recommend students be in touch with their program advisor throughout their program at least once a year, right? If you just want to understand if you are on track with your degree requirements, are you on track to get your degree completed when you want to. So say by 2028, 29, you want to complete your degree. How do you plan that out? Your program advisors will be available for you to help you out with that. And then receiving peer guidance from the new student registration assistants. So the NSRAs are a team of upper year students who are specifically there to assist you as a first year incoming students. So they've been through the first year registration process, and they are very well aware of how to navigate through the system. So if you had any issues, you can definitely reach out to them. They are available right now, and Leslie is part of that team who leads them, and they are more than happy to help you out for your first year registration. Step 4, make a list of your optional courses. So all students in most programs do get the opportunity to have a breadth variation. So not just your program-specific requirements, but things outside of it. So again, if you're a chemistry major, you have to take chemistry courses, but you can add an art course as an optional. Or if you're interested in drama, you can add a course. So those requirements of optional courses can be met by you getting into courses that interest you and that complement your program study. Certain degree programs may suggest specific options. So again, referring to the first year degree guide will be helpful. And to ensure that you can register for options, it is advisable to have multiple options in your mind when you go into your EST or your enrollment start time in the next few weeks, only because certain options that are options for you may be mandatory courses for someone else. So they may have certain reservations applied just for those students. Okay, next step number 5, read the course descriptions. Again, super important. Like I was saying earlier, if there are certain courses that are reserved for certain students, you will not be able to register into them at the very first go. So there may be reservations for a certain period of time, or there may be reservations for the entirety of the course, which is called prerequisite requirements. So these restrictions may limit your ability to take anything and everything that is available and on your course search portals. Where can you find this information? It'll be in the university calendar, the regulations that we've listed down. It'll be there. Or Sumaita is going to help us now with how to find them in the course search and schedule builder as well, the tools that we have. All right, so now you've done all of the planning. You have a list of courses that you are ready to get into, and you just want to get in now. What do you do to be able to do that? We have 2 specific tools. They are the schedule builder and the course search. They are available right in your student center. As soon as you log in your home page, you find them just above your shopping cart as course search and schedule builder, depending on what you want to use and what you're using it for. These tools might be very helpful. Okay, one last time, this is our Slido link, QR code. If you are joining in late, please be aware all of our questions are being directed towards Slido, slido.com. So if you have any questions, please join in and ask away. All right, so we have now, so I'm just going to stop sharing so that Sumaita can walk us through a demo of both the schedule builder as well as course search. All right, just going to stop sharing there. Over to you, Sumaita.
Thanks, Jisti. So just give me a second while I share my screen. Yeah, so you should see my student center. Just to ground people in how I'm going about this, I'm going to do a quick demo on both Schedule Builder and Course Search. I'll show Schedule Builder first. It's the more visual way of choosing your courses. My reference for choosing the courses is the first year degree guide. As a commerce student, I'm just using the commerce one. So if you're a commerce student, lucky you. So I'm just going to show a demo with Econ 203, Stat 217, and Accounting 217 using Schedule Builder first. So the two tools are right here as Gisty indicated. So when you click on Schedule Builder, it's going to open up a new tab. And once it loads, we should be able to see some instructions. So there are instructions that I recommend reading for your first time. So remember that this is a tool that's good for the initial stage because it helps you visualize what your schedule is actually going to look like. And in the tips, you can see that you should know what courses you want to take before using the scheduling tool. That's why I referred to the first year degree guide. You can also meet with a faculty advisor to ensure that you've picked the right courses and you're on track for your degree. So some of the questions that were coming up in Slido was, how to modify what courses you want to take, how to figure out exactly what courses you want to take, especially if they're options. These are good conversations to have with your faculty advisor. And I'll show you how the advanced search tool works in Schedule Builder. And you can understand your course requirements with the help of your faculty advisor or through the academic calendar. So, and also if this video or this demo is too quick or you feel a little lost throughout it, it's okay. I was too. There is a link to a video here if you want like more in-depth information on how to use Schedule Builder. So I'm going to use the winter semester. Here you can select whichever term you want. Mine is going to look a little bit different from yours because I'm a current student. And so I'm just going to go with winter 2026. Since I know what courses I want to take, you can use this select course box and search, for example, Accounting 217. And it populates a potential schedule. Here it says there are 7 potential schedules with Accounting 217, and you can go through the results like so. Something I want to mention is the filters at the top. So let's see with Econ 203. Oops. Oh, I am going ahead of myself. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So here are a few filters that can seem a little intimidating at first. These filters allow you to choose whether you're looking for a course that's offered on campus or not. Different other locations that you probably won't be using this filter specifically, but it's good to know that this is here. And the mode of instruction is helpful if you're looking for, like, let's say, web-based instruction. You're looking for classes that you don't have to come to campus for. And these are the sessions. So I won't go too much into this as it might be a little confusing right now. But yeah, just know that if you're using Schedule Builder, you have these filters that you can access to begin with. So the other course that I wanted to add was Stat 217. Yeah, so as you can see, there are so many results. And this to me is kind of intimidating. So instead of that, I'm kind of the type of student that doesn't want to come to campus for all my courses if I can help it. So I'm just going to see if any of these courses have like a mouse icon. So I can see that econ has some mouse icons here. And this means that there are some off-campus courses offered. So if I unselect this, it will filter just the online courses. So you should be able to see results with Econ 203 kind of just moving around with the mouse symbol. So what this means is the tutorial for Econ 203 is going to be synchronous on Zoom, most likely. But the lecture is completely asynchronous, which means there's nothing for you to have to attend, but the content will be uploaded for you to review. Um, yeah. Another thing that you want to take a look at is the details for each course that you're adding. So just a quick run through, you can see the prerequisites to the left. So for Accounting 217, the prerequisite includes admission to the Haskayne School of Business and 12 units. 12 units refers to typically 4 courses. Most courses weigh 3 units, but that can differ. So just be sure you're checking. Anti-requisites means these are courses that if you have taken that you cannot take this course. And just the general requirements are kind of listed again here. On the right side, here is a bit more information about the lectures and tutorials. So you'll see where it's happening, the location, the room, the professor. You'll see the number of seats that have currently been filled up, if there's anyone on the wait list. And here you can also see a bit more information on reservations. So this means that for students in their first year of Haskayne, 55 seats will be reserved for them. Um, so even like, let's say you're a student that wants to take Accounting 217, but you're not in your first year of business, you are not eligible for those seats. So those seats will stay reserved until June 26th. So I would recommend taking a look at the start and end date of these reservations if you were hoping to like sneak into the course if like it was starting to get filled up. Yeah. Another suggestion before you start with Schedule Builder is to kind of go through the tips section. So here it's telling you that you can block out time. So let's say every Friday at from 4 to 6, you have like football practice or something. You can block out the time, and Schedule Builder will prioritize showing you schedules that work with the preference that you're setting. You can also pin down a certain time that you like. So if I really liked Accounting 217 at this time, then everything else will be moving, but Accounting 217 at these times will stay the same. You can also use the arrow keys to browse through the different results rather than clicking on everything like I'm doing. And you can share your schedule. This can be helpful if you want to show your friends what your schedule looks like, or if you just want to send it to an advisor. Yeah, so those are all the tips. I'm just gonna wrap up the schedule builder section here very quickly. Um, just the final thing to remember is right now, because you can't enroll into your courses yet, all you can do is add to your shopping cart. So it could be a good idea to save a schedule as your favorite. So this means that you're just saving this schedule as like a potential schedule for the future. It's good to have two of them at least, in case by the time your enrollment start time comes around, maybe you're not getting the exact schedule that you had planned to get. And printing the schedule will just allow you to download a PDF version of what this looks like. And lastly, what you can do right now, well, you can't enroll because I'm a current student, so I can enroll, but you will probably only see the option to add to cart, and this will already be checked off, wait list of classes okay. And so you can add to cart from your schedule builder, and it will show up on your student center. I think that should be everything for the schedule builder section. Now I will just move on to course search. So with course search, I'll just show one example of how to use it. Since I'm still using winter 2026, I'm gonna select the term here. I'll search for accounting 217, accounting, and in this box, you can type in the number of the course. I usually check this off because I want to see what courses are waitlistable or what are closed. After that, you'll see all these boxes. Now, this is kind of what we mean when we say that this might not be as visually appealing to make your schedule with, but to me, this made a lot more sense in my first year than Schedule Builder did. So I just want to direct your attention to kind of what it says on the left. So they'll say LEC and TUT, and that's all they say. So what this means is there's a lecture component to this course and a tutorial component to this course. Now we can click on this hyperlink and see what this course is about. We can see that it's open, indicated by the green circle. So like there are seats available. You can see the enrollment requirements here. You can see exactly how many people are currently enrolled in the course, what the waitlist capacity is, and the specific start and end date for the restriction that's in place for this course. And now to go back, we can go back to view search results. So I think I like Monday, Wednesdays, 12:30 to 1:45. Being on campus, everything seems fine to me. So to select it, I'll click on select. And this can be different depending on your course, but for Accounting 217, the tutorial and the lectures are connected. With other courses, sometimes you can choose a different tutorial time, so you would see a lot more rows than just one. But for this one, the two are connected, so you have no option. So it's a good idea to see if this tutorial time works for you. And this is important to look at if you're really serious about getting into the course and you really like this timing, you want to check this off. With Schedule Builder, it's automatically checked off, but with Course Search, it's not. And you can, before clicking on next, you can review all the information, the time for the lecture and the tutorial, and the start and end date of the courses, of this course. And then we click on next, and it's kind of small, but it tells you right here that Accounting 217 has been added to your shopping cart. And it kind of gives you a quick preview up here. So what this will look like on your Student Center, since it's winter 2026, it'll just show up here. You're not going to be able to enroll into anything right now since your enrollment start time hasn't begun. But right now, you can add things to your shopping cart and have it there. Something to note is this validate, add, submit, edit button. From your shopping cart, you can enroll into your course, but right now, since you won't have that option, it's a good idea to validate it to see if there are any errors that come up. So if I validate it, I'm being told that it's okay to add for me. if there was an issue, there'd be a red X. However, in the message, and it's always important to read the message that it's giving you, it is telling me that I have taken this course previously, and just to be aware of that. So in the event, whether you're getting an error or not, it's always important to read the messages to see what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, so once it's said it's okay, there's a green check mark and you're good to go. Just a reminder that your first year can be intimidating and this is a lot of information. So know that there is support. There's going to be new student registration assistance over the summer. If you're going through course registration errors, if you're really, really confused about options, you can talk to them about that too. If you're hoping to adjust how many courses you want to take per semester, that is more of a conversation you would want to have with your faculty. So just remember there's support out there. It's intimidating, I know, but you've got this. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Samaita. Hopefully that quick demo was helpful in understanding all the little nuances of the tools that we have. And even if it didn't, if it didn't all land, it's completely fine. We are here at Enrollment Services. We are our Student Success Center is here with our NSRAs. And faculty advisors are definitely here as well. So you don't have any lack of resources to reach out. So please ensure that you are in touch with us in case you have any questions, especially before your enrollment start time comes by, so that your plan is all ready by the time you have to click that validate button. But summing up what Sumaita was demoing for us, what is the difference between the two tools, right? Like when do you use what? So the schedule builder is highly recommended to be used when you're initially building your schedule. So right now, when you're building your schedule, you're trialing out what courses work for you, what doesn't, what timings work for you, what doesn't, and what are some optional courses you can take, what optional courses are available in fall and winter. All of that is now, and it should be in your visual schedule builder. Not should, but it would be ideal for you to see what your week will look like if you use the visual schedule builder at this point. It allows you to build a schedule and fit classes together. So it's not going to be like course search, where it is one at a time. So you have to know the exact course, and you get multiple options, but you can add that one at a time into your shopping cart. So the visual schedule builder is like a one-stop shop for you to build your schedule for fall or winter. However, the student center and the course search, we do recommend using that after the initial schedule is built. So after you've built the schedule, you've put it into your shopping cart, and on your enrollment start time, you have flipped it over into your enrolled courses, which means that now you are in those courses for sure. You've reserved your space in that course. After that time, please use course search and the student center to add courses or to drop courses or to swap courses. Any of those actions, we recommend using course search as well as the student center. The student center allows you to drop, edit, swap courses from your existing schedule. The only downside with Visual Schedule Builder and why we recommend the course search is it sometimes we found students can accidentally click on multiple things and accidentally drop those courses that they actually do want as well in their schedule. Which is why we would recommend, at least in your first year when you're still new to this portal, we would highly recommend that you use the course search function after you have enrolled into your courses of interest. So again, these are used for enrollment actions like adding, dropping, swapping, editing courses in the existing schedule. So Visual Schedule Builder used initially before your EST, ideally, and then the course search in Student Center is after you have enrolled after your EST. EST being enrollment start time. Okay. All right, so now moving on with our steps. So step number 7, and Sumaita did touch on this in the demo, is once you have your courses in your shopping cart, you can use the validate button. So right now, again, is a good time for you to use the validate button to be able to understand if there are any errors that are going to come into play when you try to enroll on your enrollment start time. So this validate button tells you errors like any time conflicts that you may have, any prerequisites that you might be missing. So if you're trying to get into Math 265 and you don't have Math 30-1 from your high school, it'll tell you that right now. Or if there are core requisites that are missing, any missing departmental consent. So certain courses, they require you to have consent from the faculty or the department. So that error will pop up. That will indicate to you that you must reach out to a program advisor and they can help you out with that consent if they deem it necessary. And any anti-requisites. So anti-requisites are the opposite of prerequisites. So certain courses, you must have completed certain courses before you can take it. So say a Math 265 requires the Math 30-1 from high school, but there could be an anti-requisite that you must not have Math 31. So if, and I'm only saying this as an example, if that anti-requisite exists in your schedule, then you will not be allowed to enroll into Math 265. Okay, so this will go on. This is not just for your first year. It goes on for all 4 years of your degree, 4 or 5 years that you're going to be here registering into courses. All right, so the validate button is what helps you understand this before your actual enrollment start time. Now, step 8 is the actual registration. So you have all of your courses in your shopping cart. Everything is sorted out. You have the courses you need, and your enrollment start time comes by, and you click on this button again. And what it tells you is what are the courses that you want to register into. You hit those checkboxes and you click on the enroll button. Now, this is if you are using the Student Center, which we recommend you do in your first year. Visual Schedule Builder will also give you that option. But again, like I said, build your schedule initially in the Visual Schedule Builder. And then once you have everything in your shopping cart, follow these steps. Once you enroll, so please be mindful, there are a couple of steps. So it's not done once you click this enroll button. You still have to finish enrolling. And it'll give you, like Sumaita showed us, it'll either give you a success with a check mark here, or it'll give you an error. Very, very important for you to understand if that registration action actually went through or not. Because if you ignore this, then obviously you're not registered into that, and you will not be, and you're probably missing out on important time where you can probably register if there was some sort of an error that you can fix. So here the student has been added to HDST 383. But there is a pre-co or anti-requisite error for Math 211, which is why they're not going to be enrolled. After this, if you click on the My Class Schedule, you will see all of the courses that you have been successfully registered in. Okay, while you register for courses. There are obviously the waitlist that we mentioned earlier. If a course is full, you may be able to join the waitlist if you check mark that you're okay with the waitlist. What it does is that if someone else from that class were to drop that class, whoever is first on the list on the wait list gets the opportunity to get into the class. But please be mindful, if you do not meet the requirements for the class, the wait list will not get you in. You have to ensure that there are no time conflicts, that there are no errors for you to be able to get into that class. Again, all of this information can be found in Class Search and the Visual Schedule Builder. When you search up that course, if you want to understand what can be the potential errors, what am I missing to be able to get in. Okay. Waitlists aren't enabled for every class. So that's something you might want to be mindful of, that all classes do not have the option for a waitlist. It is the faculty and the instructors who decide if there can be a waitlist opened or not. If there isn't one, you will just have to keep an eye on the course if it does have any seats open up. Do remember that right now in May, we are only at the start of the enrollment. We have May, June, July, August, September. So about 5 months, 4 months where a lot of change happens. A lot of students are deciding which courses they want to get into and what they don't want. Also depends on their work schedule, if things change. So multiple things can happen. So don't be disheartened if on your start date, you don't get the courses that you really wanted. Just keep an eye out. If you're feeling like you're keeping an eye out and you just aren't able to get into a course, reach out to a program advisor, reach out to the NSRA to understand what are the other options that you possibly can look at and how do you find them. The NSRA can help you find it through the first year degree guide to understand what else can you pick, what other options are available for you. But the program advisors can definitely give you a plan. If you weren't able to get in, what are the other options, right? We have courses that are reserved for a certain period of time for first year students only. So you do have that advantage, but you have to be on top of it to be able to get into those courses. Step 9. So now you're registered in the course and you thought it was all good. Suddenly something happens and you can no longer make it on a Wednesday evening for a 4 p.m. class. So that's not going to happen for you anymore. So you want to change. You can make changes to your schedule all the way up till the registration deadlines in September. So the last day to drop a fall 2025 course is September 11, and the last day to add is September 12. So these dates can be found on the academic calendar, which I'm going to talk about as well. But you can make these changes all the way up till then. But we do recommend that you do use the Student Center and Course Search feature to either drop and then add any other course that you like. If you are making changes after the course change period, which is after, say, September 11 and 12, if you decide to drop a course after this date, you will have something called a withdraw, which means that you will still have the W grade on your transcript, and the charges for the fees for the course will still be applicable. So all of your changes, you want to make sure that you get them done before the registration deadlines. In most cases, you can withdraw from a course through your student center. However, some faculties require you to submit a request for approval. So making sure that you have that information through your student center before the deadline. And if you're not sure about it, again, reach out to a faculty advisor, to Enrollment Services, and we can help you figure that out. Okay, again, a disclaimer for engineering students, you don't have to follow any of these steps in your first year. It will be after your first year that you will be going through these steps. However, in your first year, it'll be your faculty that will enroll you through a registration block. Okay, to review, we first find out what your enrollment start time is. So you've done that through your student center. Then you initialize your registration, making sure that it's now your information that we have on your student portal. So your phone number, your email address, your contact information with your address, your home address. All of this is essential if in case of an emergency, we do need to contact you or the institution needs to contact you for any sort of communication, then we need to know what your information is. Just please make sure that you don't have mom and dad's information anymore over there and that it's yours. Step number 3, making a list of your required courses and then making a list of potential optional courses that you can take. Step 5 is reading the course descriptions and reviewing requirements through your visual schedule builder, course search, or the university academic calendar. All this information is provided in there. And then you use the tools, which are the visual schedule builder and course search, to be able to add things into your shopping cart, add your courses into the shopping cart. And once you add courses into your shopping cart, you will be able to validate them. Validating means simply understanding if there are any potential errors. And when I say that, I'm not going to say that all the errors are going to be caught, only because if at the time of your registration, if a course is closed, the system's not going to be able to detect that in advance. You will have to navigate that when it happens on your enrollment start time. So again, we're here if that happens, and if you are panicking about how to navigate that, we can definitely help you out. And then eventually you register for courses, and any changes to your registration, you have the ability all the way up till September 11 and 12. That's when you can make your changes. All right, some quick hot tips before we get to the end. Tip number 1, we have the university academic calendar that I've been talking about, referencing every now and then. This calendar provides all of the important dates and deadlines that you would possibly need for each semester. So fall will have certain registration deadlines and tuition and fee payment deadlines. Winter will have, again, their own registration and tuition deadlines. So we would highly recommend you have them in your calendar so that you don't forget. It's very, very essential that you remember what these deadlines are and adhere to these deadlines. Tip number 2, know your registration deadlines. So some courses, and this may not be very relevant for your first year, but ongoing for your second, third, fourth year, you can be enrolled in, say, block classes or classes that are not within, are not scheduled to be within the standard dates of the university calendar. They will have slightly different deadlines. So last day to add, drop will be different for these courses. So you want to always be sure what deadlines do you have to adhere to in your fall, winter, any courses, any semesters that you're enrolling in. So you will find these deadlines right next to where you find your enroll courses. Under them, each course will have a little calendar icon. If you click that, it'll show up on a bigger screen to say last day to drop, last day to withdraw, and it'll clearly give you what that is. It is, again, because registration deadlines and fee payment deadlines are all very critical. Please be mindful that you are looking at these little links. It can be easy to miss. However, impacts can be high. So please don't forget to click on these links when you're trying to understand what are your deadlines for the courses that you have registered into. Okay, tip number 3 is the weekly view that you can take a look at for your schedule. So if you have enrolled in these courses, if you were to click on this little link here that says My Schedule Calendar View, it will bring up your weekly view of your courses. So in the first week of September, this is what these courses look like for you. So again, another tip, you may want to print it out, you may want to keep it on your phone, however you like, but this is available if you want it. Now, what if you needed help? Where do you go? Number 1, we have the registrar's website, where we have tons of resources on how to register, information specifically for new first-year students, when you are continuing, for you as well. At that point, if there are any registration issues, how to initialize your registration, all of these helpful little pieces we do have on the Office of the Registrar website. We have the QR codes for all of these helpful links in these slides. So when we send them out to you as well, feel free to use them. Again, the next helpful resource is the how-to guides that's also on the Office of the Registrar website. If you go under the Student Center, you will see how to use your Student Center. These are all, again, step-by-step instructions of any little action that you need to take, any little or big actions that you need to take. So how to initialize your registration, how to drop courses, how to validate your shopping cart through VSB or Student Center. All of these pieces are included in here, and it's not just limited to registration. You also have guides on fees, financial aid, and all of these other pieces that you might need throughout your career here. Then we have the new student registration assistance, like we've spoken about a few times. Again, upper year students who will be happy to help you out. Their program runs all the way up till August 29th, so please make sure you take advantage of it and do book in with them. Faculty advisors are available. Again, we've shared the link a couple of times in the chat, I can see, but we will send the link out through the presentation as well. Enrollment Services, we are here also Monday to Friday, 9 to 4. If you needed any assistance, we're here virtually and in person. Yeah, we will be here for you. And in the end, I have to talk about the summer series that we are going to have. So the next session after this, if you wanted to get more information specific to your fees or financial aid, we do have some presentations on that. So please feel free to register. There's more information that's going to come up very soon, but all the information can be found on the website here. All right, so to wrap it up, we have very little time, so I'm just going to hand it over to Leslie for Leslie to go over some FAQs that we have.
Thanks, Jisti. Yes, we've been having so many great questions in Slido, so thanks for everyone for jumping in there and asking your questions. We just wanted to highlight some really common questions that we get in Enrollment Services in the Student Success Center. One question is around, can I take a 300 or 400 level course in my first year? First year courses are typically at the 200 level, and most faculties require students to just take 200 levels in their first year. There are some exceptions to this. If you are looking at doing a 300 level and you have the prerequisites, then it's best to reach out to your faculty advisor to double check if that's appropriate. But for the most part, if you're in your first year, you just want to stick with those 200 levels, yeah, wait for your upper years to take those higher level courses. The second frequently asked question is around, enrolling in winter classes if you need to complete your fall classes first. And I'm seeing this a lot in Slido. Do I register for fall and winter at the same time? Yes, definitely. We encourage students to first register in your fall, and then in the same time, register for your winter right after. This will give you the best opportunity to get courses for both your fall and your winter semesters. So definitely recommended to register for both fall and winter. Should note though that you have a long time to add and change your schedule, especially for the winter. So that's just something to keep in mind, that if you register for both fall and winter right off the hop, that's great, but you do have time to make modifications throughout the summer and into the fall for your winter. If you build a schedule in Schedule Builder, will these courses that you've chosen also show up in the course search tool? So once you register via Schedule Builder, you will see those courses appear in your Student Center. And then if you're using your Student Center to make changes through course search, those will be reflected back in Schedule Builder. So they both work together, where you can see the changes that you've made to your schedule. And Justy has also mentioned in a few slides back around when's the last day to enroll in courses. And again, this is a really important deadline that you need to know for each semester. And those deadlines are found in the academic calendar. Justy also showed where you could find your specific reg deadlines once you've registered in classes, just by looking at the calendar icon in your Student Center beside each course you've registered in. Again, this presentation will be available after, so you can see that screenshot again if you missed it. I just want to highlight that it looks like the most popular questions in our Slido are around connecting with a faculty advisor. We've shared this, the way to connect with a faculty advisor a number of times. There's a direct link. Even if you Google faculty advising on the U of C website, you'll get to that page where you can select your faculty and then find out how to connect with those specific advisors. And again, definitely recommend you to do so. And then I saw a couple other questions around, should I take 5 courses in a semester, like the first year degree guide suggests? This is a really tough question. There are some programs that require students to take 5 courses. There are others that are much more flexible and allow students to take as many as they feel comfortable with. So this is a really great question to ask your faculty advisor if you're wondering about taking that reduced course load. Again, it could be possible, and there's always modifications that can be made, but it's definitely something that you should talk to your faculty advisor if you're worried about taking 5 courses in a semester. And it is manageable. Lots of students do it or have to do it, so it is definitely manageable. But again, it's very dependent on the faculty and also you yourself. And yeah. So I think I'll leave it at that. It's 8 o'clock. We're so happy that you've all joined us today. It's been a great session. It's been so active on the Slido. We're really excited for you to join us this fall at the University of Calgary. Thanks again for spending this time with us. Look out for the frequently asked questions that we'll send to you after this session, and the session slides as well. So I just want to sign off on behalf of this whole team here and say, hope you all have a good night and happy registering.